Um, my name's James Watling, and I'm a member of Morpeth Parish. And I like to do things a little bit differently. As if you know me, you'll already be aware of that. I believe that we have a structured reading, but what I would like to do instead for this Thursday morning reflection is to give a couple of short readings, short passages, and in essence what they mean to me, or at least how I interpret those, and that may be of some interest to you. So Simon's brought me in just to throw a monkey in the wrench, so to speak. So I hope it's a reasonably palatable wrench. So the first reading is from Luke 11:17 and verse 9, and it goes, "So I say to you, ask and it will be given to you, search and you will find, knock and the door will be opened for you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds, and for everyone who knocks, the door will be opened." And for me, that's such a powerful message, a powerful passage. What it's basically saying to you is certainly, again, this is my interpretation of it, that everything that we want, or everything that we would like to find in this life is already there waiting for us, but we're not able to access it or able to welcome it because of the barriers that we put up ourselves within our own minds and hearts. And I think for me, that's saying that essentially that God has everything there for you. Not necessarily that you could just sit there, I don't believe, and just wish it to be true, but that if you take inspired action that's, inspired through Christ, and you believe that to be true, and then you just move forward, that you can achieve pretty much anything that you wish to achieve. And I think for me personally anyway, and something that I'm still having to learn, is just to put your trust in Christ, put your trust in God. That some things that we can't work out, certainly this is very relevant for me recently, that certain things can't be worked out, especially when it involves other people, that you just have to let go and trust, and that things will, in essence, always work themselves out. So that's what that passage means to me. So the second passage, I'm sure Simon's cringing. Why is he reading so much? It's ruining the whole thing. We've been doing this for years, and then suddenly you come in and do it your own way, but that's how we do things. So this is from Luke 11:17. And at this point, I should mention that Simon's very gracious enough to give me a copy of the Bible, because it's something that I felt like I should always read, right? And I thought, yeah, no worries. I'll thank you for the copy. I'll get it done in a weekend. Well, here we are, nearly 2 years later, and I'm on Luke, chapter 11:17. So we're working our way through. So I should have the Old and New Testament. I should add. I should have that finished, I would say, within the next 2 weeks. So, and I've been promised a certificate when I do. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm just in it purely for the certificate, right? Okay, so the next one is, again, it's Luke 11:17, verse 33. I believe it's a verse. So this one, I believe, is very important. I think it's as you look into it, there's a lot there to look at and to pick apart, so to speak. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it in a cellar, but on the lampstand, so that those who enter may see the light. Your eye is the lamp of your body. If your eye is healthy, your whole body is full of light. But if it is not healthy, your body is full of darkness. Therefore consider whether the light is in you is not darkness. If then your whole body is full of light, with no part of it in darkness, it will be as full of light as when a lamp gives you light with its rays. So I've actually read that in the other interpretations through the other apostles, and only now have I read this through Luke. Did I really, in my mind, certainly my understanding or interpretation, that when it says, if your eye is healthy, your body is full of light. If it's not healthy, it's full of darkness. So to me, that means essentially it's how we see things. It's what light we see things in and how it affects us. So we could see a situation in a negative light, or at least in our minds, it'd be a negative light, and it fills us full of darkness, full of sadness, perhaps even depression, low energy. However, if we were to see that same situation in a different light, if our eyes were healthy, and that may even mean, that we reframe it, we perceive it in a different way, in a more positive way, that will then energize us. So the same situation could be looked at in two different ways, and if we look at it in a positive way, not a blind way, because I think that's what it's meant when it says that your eyes are open, but your eyes are healthy, so you can see a situation in a positive light, and therefore you interpret that situation or that event in a more positive manner, and therefore you're filled with perhaps not even joy, but just with contentment and with energy, and with an ability to walk past and perhaps overcome that. Whereas if we take a situation and we see it in a negative light, that doesn't allow us to move forward, and therefore we could become stuck on that. So again, for me personally, that's a really prominent and powerful reading. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Again, thank you for joining me on this Thursday morning reflection, and I hope that hasn't thrown anybody off too much. I'm sure we'll be back to normal on Friday, but I've really enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing everybody again soon once the churches reopen and we get back to some form of normality. All right, take care, have a great day, and thank you for having me.